Do you fancy yourself as a bit of a pro player on EA Sports FC? Monthly tournaments are going live at foottrading.co.uk. So not only will you get the buying and selling prices for every single card on this game, helping you make millions of coins guaranteed, you'll also automatically qualify for the tournament should you wish to enter. There'll be cash prizes for the people that do the best in the tournaments, and we're hoping to get into the esports side of things in the long term, so you guys can show us what you can do and hopefully get involved in that. So check out foottrading.co.uk for all your trading and playing needs. But for now, let's get into the video. Quick one from me before we get into the video. I will be live on Twitch directly after this video. The link is in the description and it will be in the comment section. Come over there if you want help with trading. I will be doing it all live. I'll be able to help you guys as much as I possibly can for all budgets. Come join the community, come over to Twitch, get involved. But for now, we'll get into the video. Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to a new video with me, Fuzzball40. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It makes a massive difference and I will help you make millions this year, guaranteed. If you can click the like button and comment, it takes 10 seconds but makes all the difference, and I comment back to every single person. And you've got basically now, I think 6 days to subscribe at the website if you want to enter the monthly tournament. If you're decent at the game, you've got a chance to win a cash prize while making millions of coins. It's going to be incredible. Tournament's already filling up with a lot of people in it. It's going to be brilliant. So get involved, support the content, and have fun yourself. But this video is basically entitled a low budget trading method, okay? And it's here to help those of you that have a low budget. However, if you have a lot of coins, you can make this play as well. I'm very, very tempted to make it myself, but I'm going to see how my sort of investments that I made in the last 24 hours go. We put basically, by the time we'd spent up yesterday, we put all 4 million coins into everything basically. So hopefully you're going to see a return on the guys that we bought. We've already seen a return on these guys here. We're now waiting for these guys all to rise and hopefully we'll make good profit. But some cards on this game are reaching what I call the point of no return. It's when they touch this guard price and they tend to stay down at that price. But there was always a little bounce back. Now, the cards that I'm interested in, I'm going to show you them, are the 84 rated cards. Most 84 rated cards that are meta still are sitting in people's teams and still being used. The likes of Leroy Sané, I see him so often in this game, and so people still use them. What's going to happen this weekend, and I'm going to show you FootWiz now. This weekend we're going to get mass supply of the cards from Weekend League and everything, and they're going to dip down. If you've got the time and the patience, you can make huge profit, massive, massive profit. So I'm going to show you FootWiz, and all I've done is I put into the player search on FootWiz 84 rated, basically to 84 rated. And what that's done is it's brought up all the 84 rated cards. Now we're not interested in the likes of Rodman. That's not to say, by the way, she's not a good buy for Sunday Flip, she is. But we're interested in the guys that maybe sort of 2.5k and below, maybe slightly more in certain places. And all you want to do is go onto the game and check what they're selling for currently with a Hunter or Shadow, depending on where they play. So if it's an attacker, you're interested in Hunter. If it's a defender, Shadow. If it's a midfielder, it can be Hunter or Shadow. But there are a lot of cards. I'm going to show you them all. Gabriel Martinelli is a start, 2.3k at the moment. I want to just show you his trends each week. So Saturday into the sort of Sunday low, bounces back. So we're at a low of 4.6 to 6.5. Last Saturday, Sunday down to what, 2.8, back up to 3.8. Okay. Chloe Kelly. Sunday before, 1.5, back up to 2.2, back down to 1.4, up to 2.3. A lot of these cards are going to be achievable very, very cheaply this weekend with those chemistry styles on them. And what happened last weekend, because I checked it, was a lot of these cards got low and their Hunter Shadow equivalents were able to be picked up for a very, very, very low price. Now, let's say you're looking at Chloe Kelly and she's 1.7. If she's getting listed with a Hunter, let's say a Hunter gap is 2.5, you can buy into it like 2k, for example. It wouldn't be a problem. And all you're going to do then is hold and wait until Weekend League supply ends, basically. So Monday, Tuesday is when you're going to think about selling these players. They've got to be usable for this to work, okay? But you can make an all-in move, which is pretty much zero risk. There's a small risk as always with trading, but it's very, very little risk for you guys to make, especially those of you that are low budget. It could be quite a decent bounce back. Because we look at Chloe Kelly, right? So we look at her low last week of 1.3. So she's 2.3 there by the time she bounces back. We'll have a little look at Chloe Kelly. We'll look at Bremer afterwards. So you just want to get a rough idea of what these cards are selling for. So Chloe, that's Kelly Smith, wrong one. There we go, Chloe Kelly. And what I'm interested in here is where she's at with her Hunter. Ideally, you want some form of gap, but you don't want too big a gap. That's the most important thing. Perfect. Perfect gap. 1,000 coins. Chloe Kelly, 1,000 coin gap on her, which is really, really nice. So think about it this way, okay? She's down at 1.7k right now, and that's an influence her price being 2.7k with a Hunter. If she dips any further over the weekend and gets down to 1.5, that's going to bring the price down. Moreover, if she holds price or slightly rises, her Hunter's still going to be listed up quite cheap because she's still cheap. So you can sit on Chloe Kelly for a few hours if you wanted to and just buy her up and buy as many as you possibly can. Because last week when I checked for Chloe Kelly, she got a precise 3.2k with a Hunter. So let's say you're buying her up at 2k, you're going to make basically before or after tax at least 1,000 coins a card. You basically have the opportunity here to get 50% return on your investment, which is a massive, massive return. So I'm sat on 4.2 million. If I was to do that, I'd end up at 6 million. Now, I'm incredibly tempted to do this because I think it could be a fantastic play. I'm tempted to get out of everything I've bought, hopefully for break-even / small profit, and then maybe to make this play, okay? Now, the reason why I'm telling you these 84 rated cards is because what's happening is, on the game, these cards don't come up very often on the min price filter for Hunters or Shadows, okay? So if you're not sure what the min price filter is, that's basically the minimum price that all Hunters and Shadows sell for on the market, okay? So if I just show you, and we'll go to it, so we'll get up Gold Rare because I'm not interested in Gold Commons at all. And if we go to Hunter, you can see that there are loads of Hunters at like 1.1. So because these are 84 rated, they're not really going to pop on that filter at any time really, because they're all basically slightly above that. Now there are exceptions to that. There's a couple of cards that can potentially pop on this filter, might be more difficult to snipe, but most of them are going to be achievable. And the same for Shadow. I think it might be slightly more, but actually when I checked yesterday it wasn't. Yeah, basically 1,200 is the minimum. Like that Werner there, for example, like you could buy that if you wanted to for profit, but why someone's put a Shadow on Werner, I will never know. But that's the min price, okay? So when you look at these cards that I'm showing you, Aurelien Tchouameni, again, he isn't that price yet, so he can dip down and get down but not hit that filter. And again, when I show you last week, Sunday 2.1, back up to what, 2.7 by the Wednesday. Again, his rise not extraordinary. He's had better rises in the past, but again, if he comes down with Shadow on him, that's going to be basically a buy. Bremer, 1.6k at the moment. I'm finding these guys will be the best ones to work with because Bremer's going to get listed with a Shadow relatively often throughout today and tomorrow. But because of his min price, he's not going to hit that filter, which is going to make it possible for you guys to snipe him. I think 2k, give or take, is about where he is. 2.1k, there we go. He's rarely going to hit that filter. He's rarely going to hit that filter, and it makes it much easier to pick up these guys on snipes. Far, far easier. Reece James, again, 2.5k. Check the gap on him. It could be very decent. And again, we have a little look at him. Sunday before last, 2.6 up to 3.8. Last week, Saturday, 2.1 up to 3.6. These guys tend to bounce back, and if you're buying with Shadows and Hunters, the bounce back will be even better. Colin Mawani, 3k, about 3.5 really. He was 12k before, so forget this basically, but Colin Mawani's had a dramatic drop. He's just kept going down and down and down and down. There will be a bounce back. If you think last week, Saturday, 12k up to 15.5, technically by the Tuesday. Again, he's 3k now. Like, this guy could be a very, very handsome buy if it's just a little bit of a bounce back in him. Kim Min-jae is a bit more of a iffy one because he's quite expensive, but there is a gap on him. I just checked, so you can think about Kim Min-jae. If he keeps coming down and down and down, then his bounce back could be superb as well. If we look last week, 8.9k by the Wednesday, he's basically not far off halved now, which is a huge dip, a massive, massive dip. Gabriel Jesus, 1.9k. Again, we look at the dip offs, 3.4 up to 4.9. And then last weekend, 1.9 up to 2.4. So again, his bounce back is a bit more minimal because I don't think it's that usable a card anymore. But again, with Hunter, he's going to be much, much more than that. He's not going to appear on the filter. Crystal Dunn, people love this card. Again, very similar. The thing about Dunn you've got to be mindful of is she doesn't really get used in everyone's team. She's like, there's only so many players that are going to link her up. But she still does really well. So 2.9 all the way up to what? 7.5? Look at that climb. 7.5 by Tuesday. dipped down as low as 3.5 last week, all the way up to 5.1 again. Massive returns on Crystal Dunn. If you can get a few of her with Shadow and Hunter on her, I think she'll do relatively well. Leroy Sané is starting to get towards that min price on the filter, so he may be more difficult to snipe, but he's been one card that I've worked with all year and he's been fantastic. So Leroy Sané could be a really good option for you guys, but he's going to be competitive in my opinion. Grimaldo, again, he's probably in my opinion going to get close down to discard. These sort of prices here I think aren't really relative of what he's going to be. The only thing that might hold his price up is Palacios, because people will compete that objective. So you never know, they might link into him. I don't think that Palacios is that great personally, but they might want to link into his inform. It does really depend. But Grimaldo, again, if you want to plump on the fact that people are going to be able to link him to Palacios, then he could be a good shout. And then Rabiot, again, getting down towards that discard price of the minimum price in the filter. But again, when we see dips off 1.7, 2.3, 1.3, 1.8, these cards aren't really any risk. They're really not any risk. The reason why we're buying them with Shadows and Hunters on them, it's vitally important you understand this, is because you're covering off your risk then, and there probably is more profit potential. So let's think Rabiot, for example. He hasn't really bounced back that much in the weeks. We're talking 400 coins at a time, okay? There's going to be a point where he's really going to sort of stop bouncing back. He's not really going to get back up again, and it could be this weekend, for example. So if he doesn't bounce back with his standard price, you're looking for the bounce back with the Shadows and the rise of the Shadows. Now, the supply of these cards is going to dry up bit by bit. You haven't got to worry about that. Let the supply dry up. It's perfectly fine. Once that supply dries up, then that's your point to think, right, let me watch these prices rise. Some are going to do better than others, just how the game works. Some investments are better than other investments. So you can get involved in them fairly easily. I'd spread your bets across multiple players. Don't just buy one player, because if that doesn't come off, then you're going to be stuck with a small profit or break even or whatever. Spread it across so many players. There's even more than what I've just shown you now on there as well. There's another 6 or 7 minimum. So look at these cards. Look at what you can do. Make big profit, in my opinion. If you're new around here, make sure you subscribe down below. Make sure notifications are turned on so you never miss an upload. But for now, I'm out. Peace out. I'll speak to you soon.